Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me here today. This is the Willow Witch Tarot channel, and we are going to do a pick a card reading. So we'll pull 4 cards here for 4 different piles, and we'll also we'll select 4 crystals to go with each pile, and we'll pick these all together. So you can just go with your intuition. Whatever pile you're feeling drawn to will be your pile for today. And I will show you each of these piles as we go. So the first pile will be with Regenerate, the Morel, which is a type of mushroom. Beautiful. Second pile here will be Connection with the Foxglove. Let's see if we can get that to focus for you. Let me hold it differently. I'll hold it up again once I put the crystals down. Maybe it will focus then. Okay, but the second pile is Connection with Foxglove. Third pile is Adventure with the Samphire. Sorry about that. It's really not wanting to focus. There we go. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay. And then let's see what we have for pile number 4. I am feeling this top one here. St. John's wort with Stabilize. All right. And if you would like to pick with crystals, I will grab those. I'll be right back with those. Okay, so I will show you the crystal and the card for each pile. So pile 1, we have the Morel and we have the Tiger's Eye. Beautiful protection crystal. So many other properties as well. Okay, so that's pile 1. Pile 2, we have the Foxglove Connection with this beautiful amethyst point. You hold it differently so you can see all those gorgeous facets. Camera never quite does these crystals justice, but you can get a good idea. And then for pile 2, we have the Samphire with Adventure. Let's see if we can get it to focus now. There we go. And this beautiful, oh, the name just went right out of my head. Carnelian, there we go. Beautiful Carnelian. I call it a point. It kind of looks like a little dragon's tooth to me, which is what attracted me to it in the first place, of it looking almost like this little tooth. So we'll call it a carnelian tooth. How about that? If you hear sighing in the background, that is my dog. She's hanging out with us for the picking of these cards. And then the pile 4 card is St. John's wort with Stabilize and this bright, sunny citrine point crystal. All right, so if you know what pile you are feeling drawn to already, go ahead and look for the timestamps in the description box and also in the pinned comment below. And if you'd like some more time to sit with these cards, I will pause the recording here and let you take a look and decide which pile or piles you're resonating with most. And of course, you're more than welcome to watch more than one reading or even all of the readings if you're feeling drawn to do so. And I will see you in your reading. Hello everyone who is joining me for the pile preparation. So we are going to prepare the piles together for this timeless reading with 4 piles today. So we'll be drawing a variety of oracle cards and of tarot cards to go with each reading. And I'm going to try my best not to flip any. Sometimes the cards do flip. I'm going to send an intention right now that if any cards flip, we're probably just going to put them back in and reshuffle them so that we can kind of retain that air of mystery until we get to each of the readings. Okay, so we'll see how it goes. Sometimes it doesn't always go as planned, but that feels like pile 2. And we'll take one for pile 3 as well. So you're welcome to join me for this pile preparation, or you can just fasten forward to your pile if you already know which pile you are drawn to. Oh, and I am feeling these 2 for this pile 4. Okay, beautiful. We're going to take some tarot cards next from this beautiful tarot Mucha deck that I just love. Most of the time I use this deck for clarification, but today I did feel called to use this deck as part of the reading, so I will put aside a different deck for clarification, most likely my well-loved and well-worn Shadowscapes deck. That's one of the first decks I ever received. We're going to pull 2 cards from each tarot deck for each reading. Oh, wow. All right, well, these 3 did fall out together, so I will put those for pile 3, 3 for pile 3. Oh, and we'll just take a look at these cards. Maybe this is a message for somebody watching this reading. We have the 5 of Swords, the 7, which is the Chariot, sorry, the 7 major arcana, so 7, 7, Chariot, and the 7 of Pentacles. So really interesting. I'm not going to necessarily interpret that right now, but we'll see if it comes up again later. But it might just be a sign or a nod for somebody watching the pile preparation here. Okay. So the next deck we're going to use is actually the Light Seer's Tarot. This deck for me has always been a bit interesting. Sometimes I have I've had a bit of a conflicted history with this deck, but I've made peace with it. I first received it when I was going through kind of a difficult time in my life, and I didn't always love the messages that came through. It was kind of like one of those, you know, hard truths, or actually getting that this should be with pile 1. It's almost one of those, like, you know, you go to like a wise, maybe older friend, and you ask for advice, and they tell you the exact thing that you don't want to hear, but have been kind of like knowing and running from in yourself. That's how this deck used to feel to me, and now I actually really, I feel like it's gentled a bit, maybe because I listen a bit better now. So maybe some of you resonate with that out there. I'm just going to straighten these up a little bit and I'll be right back. All right, there we go. So we've got one more tarot deck left here to pull a couple of cards for. And then I believe that will be the end of the pile preparation, but I'll kind of feel into it and just see if there's anything else that the guidance is saying that we might need. These 2, yep, just 2 for this first pile. This one for sure. Actually getting just 1 for pile 2, so interesting. One here. Yep. Okay. these two. All right. Okay, interestingly, I am feeling that we'll pull one of these Dreams of Gaia tarot for each pile. Yep. Oh, all right, so we won't use this one, but beautiful. I love this Ace of Pentacle card from this deck. That green dragon might be symbolic for somebody here. I'm getting that if you haven't picked a pile yet, that pile 2 might be your pile if that is a meaningful card for you. Okay, there we go. All right, so I will see you in your readings. Thanks so much for hanging out in the pile preparation pulling with me, and we'll be there shortly. Okay, hello pile 1. You picked this beautiful Morel Regenerate card and the Tiger's Eye crystal. Definitely getting a, let me just adjust that light, hold on. There we go, now you can actually see your card. But yeah, definitely getting a message for some of you here that tigers are significant. So we'll go ahead and take a look at your cards. So we've got the Oracle card. Oh, beautiful. Tree of Life. I absolutely love the colors and the illustration and the general feeling of this card. It always gives me this feeling of like a hug from Mother Gaia, like this like wrapping around, and also of like two souls intertwining with all of these butterflies too. I feel like there might be a relationship in your life that's transforming, and maybe with this Regenerate card, that might make sense. The number 58 is kind of standing out to me here too. So interestingly, 5 plus 8 equals 13, which is the Death card, which is also very much a rebirth, regenerate type of energy. So we've got tarot cards here that we pulled in the pile preparation together that we just shuffled and formed the piles. Didn't look at any of them, of course, but we'll reveal them here. If anyone wants to see the pile preparation, the timestamp is listed below, of course. Okay, so we have the Wisdom card, which is the 10. This in the so this deck, the Dreams of Gaia, interprets the major arcana very differently. So this is actually the Wheel of Fortune card, but in this deck it's Wisdom, and it has a slightly different meaning. So we might look at the interpretation of that deck, or of that card in that deck. Oh wow, the Tower card. I feel like this is going to be on the Magician. Oh my goodness. I was just about to say, I feel like this is going to be a very big reading for you here. Yeah, especially with this clock in the background. It's giving me a sense that like this is like divine timing. Something's coming in, especially with this lightning strike tower energy of something kind of coming down from the heavens just exactly at the time it's meant to be. We even see a clock here that's on the stones of this raven is like standing over and essentially like decreeing that it's time, right? And you're being like led through this time, by this shamanic figure that's appearing here, very mysterious with light showing the way, and there's this ivy that's like growing up this figure's cloak and staff as they're walking, so very much grounded, connected to the earth, connected to Mother Gaia type of energy. Yeah, interesting. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Oh, the sun, how gorgeous. Okay, and oh my god, double tower. You guys, you have literally not even gotten a single minor arcana card yet. This is amazing. And the moon. Oh my. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Okay, your first minor arcana is 8 of Cups. Really interesting. And then the Page of Cups. Wow. You guys are absolutely transforming something really big in your life right now. I'm not sure what it is that is calling to you, but I do feel like you might have been getting messages through your dreams is something that's coming through. Messages of like something being offered to you that's gonna really shake up your life in a huge transformative major way, and maybe require you to really step outside of your comfort zone and kind of into your full power is what I'm getting here. Getting this like strong rooted feeling of you being connected in to something that goes back to your roots. You know, whether that's, you know, for some of you, I'm getting that this could pertain to a person in your life, especially with this Page of Cups coming in here. But for others, this might very well be getting a hit of inspiration where you suddenly realize where you are destined to go next. So that could be, you know, I'm really getting the word calling coming through so strongly with these two cards here, this Moon card and this 8 of Cups card. It feels like something's calling to you. With this Moon card, what my eye is being drawn to here are these two wolves, right? We've got a black wolf on one side and a white wolf on the other. Sometimes in a Moon card, we actually see a dog and a wolf depicted on opposing sides of this full moon image, and it can often symbolize the warring sides of ourselves of wanting to, you know, have like something familiar, something tame, something that we understand, that we feel like we have more control over, versus having something that's wild and unknown and, you know, unable to be tamed or you know, just captured and it's something that has almost its own mind to it, right? Like it knows its own life separate from what we wish it to, kind of like how we wish it to behave, and yet that can be very compelling, right? And so I'm getting that you might be having some almost like visions here about what your life could be if you were to follow this kind of like siren song of this wild unknown, right? This like magical, sparkling path that might appear to you in dreams or daydreams, or maybe you kind of like, you feel like you catch glimpses of it around the corners as you're, you know, maybe you're kind of like sitting and resting or walking through a forest, you know, going on a hike, or even just like walking through a city street, a busy city street, and you almost catch glimpses out of the corner of your eye of, you know, something that's like that doesn't belong there, that's almost like calling to you. You know, maybe you're getting signs like little tiny little white feathers or white petals falling in your path, or seeing almost like a path like strewn with some white petals is what I'm getting. And I just had a little hiccup, so that's definitely a confirmation that for someone here this is happening. But yeah, I'm just like seeing this path of like little white petals that's almost like, it's like little will-o'-the-wisps, like compelling you to follow them to your destiny is what it feels like. And it might be terrifying. I mean, there's 2 towers here, so I wouldn't be surprised if going down this path and following this like light that's leading you feels absolutely terrifying. You know, it might be something completely brand new that you've never tried before, but the message that I'm getting really strongly from your spirit guides is that your soul has manifested this. And it's time. I almost feel like it's like your soul, your higher self is like throwing down this old clock, this old broken clock that maybe stopped ticking. It's just been like the hands have just been frozen in place, and they've just thrown it down, and it creates this cascading lightning strike effect, and suddenly your soul is being like reborn. I mean, this has the feeling of like a phoenix from the ashes, from the fire, type of energy, where you're being reborn from casting down this old way of doing things, this too tame, too controlled, way that you were kind of going about, maybe that feeling of being stuck in a rut, or just not living that life that really lights your fire, right? Like, this is kind of a bleak landscape. You've maybe been trying to find your way through the dark and find your way back to the light. The sun here is definitely showing that is in your future. This beautiful, sunny, just absolutely glorious happiness here. I mean, look at her. She's like celebrating her very existence, and she's being even like empowered by the sun. And for some reason it feels like almost a reciprocal energy here, where it's like the light coming from her own joy and her own soul being lit up in this way is powering that sun itself, and then it's feeding light back into her, and it's a reciprocal relationship. And so I feel like the universe, your higher self, your guides here are telling you, take this gift that's being extended, whatever form that's coming in for your life. It's really going to nourish you, like really getting that you're going to be supported here. It's going to feel like you're being like wrapped in this hug that, Mother Gaia is manifesting this with you and supporting you and helping you grow strong in this. And that it's time to rise. It's time to embrace this incredible power that you have within you. This magician, manifester, master magician type of power. Just the message of its time keeps coming through. And that very much ties back into this regenerate mushroom card too, because of course we see here the fruiting body of a mushroom, but you may or may not know this, but mushrooms have a huge network below the ground of all these intricately connected little mycelium that, as Paul Stamets, who is the mushroom like expert guru, like just incredible person. If you're interested in mushrooms or learning about them at all, look up Paul Stamets. But he was featured in Fantastic Fungi, which is a great documentary about this. But he talks about the fact that the underground network of mycelium that mushrooms have function almost like the World Wide Web. The way that every computer in the world is connected in a million different ways, there's a million different connections, to all different types of other computers or places where knowledge is stored, right? And it spans the entire globe and connects everything, right, that you could possibly want to access. And so mushrooms have a very similar connection network, and one of their major functions is they actually connect trees, right? So all the trees in one plot of forest, they all talk to each other using these mycelium underground networks. They send messages, they let other trees know if there's a threat, if there's an insect infestation. They've actually found that trees will essentially sever their connection and essentially sacrifice themselves in order to save other trees from a similar infection. So yeah, I'm just getting like this, like you're tapped in, you know, and whether this feels like it logically makes sense from what you're physically seeing in your surroundings right now or not, your guides and your higher and your even future self, I'm getting to, are telling you that you are tapped into this source of universal wisdom and knowledge that you can pull on. You can use it to create massive amounts of change in your own life, which then benefit the rest of humanity and the rest of, you know, animal life, plant life, like whatever area you're called to work in, you'll be able to benefit, and kind of have that feedback loop essentially of, you know, you bring benefit and nourishment, but you're also receiving benefit and nourishment. And I feel like it's going to be really fulfilling, and it's going to feel equal and harmonious and right. So beautiful message, pile number one. This tiger's eye might be a good stone for you to keep with you while you're going through this time of massive transformation and change. It can very much be a stone of protection, and also of just like inspiration, of being able to see into and kind of like know that direction that feels right. You know, maybe sitting and contemplating while being in the presence of this crystal. If you reach a point where you're not sure which step to take next, you know, which little foot to put forward, which path to go down, just getting with like the, almost it looks like a little arrow pointing forward on this stone of tigers, or this crystal of tiger's eye that I have, that, you know, maybe this will help you to pick a direction if you get some tiger's eye and are able to kind of sit quietly with it and ask it which way to go. Okay. All right. Beautiful pile number one. I loved your reading today. This is such a powerful, powerful, transformative reading and time in your life. I would love to hear what's going on with you. If you would like to share in the comment section below, make sure to like and follow my channel if you'd like to receive more notifications of readings that I do in the future, and I can't wait to read for you again. All right, bye pile one. Hello pile two. You picked this beautiful foxglove connection card here with the amethyst point, and I'm so excited to get started for your reading. I very much feel a soothing, harmonious, flowy type of energy coming from this combination here. So let's see what comes out. We'll start with your oracle card. Beautiful, the Witness. Wow, look at that card. I absolutely love the like drawings there on her face, and even just like the look. She's got this eye here that's shining out this beautiful, clear, feels like far seeing. Oh, wow. Okay. So this card came out in the pile preparations, but I didn't pull it because it flipped over and showed itself face up, but here it is. So it's definitely meant for somebody. I know in the pile preparation I said, oh, maybe that was a sign that, you know, you should pick some pile. I don't actually remember if it was this pile or another pile, so maybe if you're seeing this, you're meant to watch two piles if it was another pile, but yeah, this is the Ace of Earth, and this beautiful green earthy dragon always just gives me like it's like the green man, green woman kind of vibes, like that like spirit of the earth. Oh, okay, wow. I mean, you can't write this. This is incredible. So double Ace of Pentacles. You guys are being given something new. There's some new form of abundance that's manifesting into your life. And actually, when I was pulling your cards, only one of this, I was pulling two, but I very much got a strong message that only one of these cards was needed for your pile and meant, so it's like double the message. So it's almost like you got 3 Ace of Pentacles here, which is just absolutely incredible. So let's see what else we have for your tarot cards. So we have King of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles again. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then the Death card, really interesting. So the Death card came up a few times, although it didn't show itself for reading number 1. But if you were pulled to that, that might be a message that there's a message there for you as well. But yeah, wow. Okay. So I'm getting so many messages already coming through. I kind of want to center and just make your cards a little more in the middle of the frame. You actually have a little less cards than some of the other readings, which I understand now. It's really helping with the clarity of this message is the feeling that's coming through. Yeah, so first we've got the Witness here with numbers 6 and 4, which together make the number 10, which not only is the number of fulfillment, you know, if you think of like the 10 of Pentacles, it's that reaching the ultimate success, the ultimate pinnacle of abundance, where you have enough not only to ensure that you are financially stable, you know, into retirement, but also that you have a legacy to give future generations. And I feel that there's a huge blessing of abundance that is entering into your life here. And yeah, it's almost this Witness here feels like that your higher self and even like your spirit guides, I'm almost getting this like forest, like this like Mother Gaia forest spirit sort of energy, is essentially sharing that they've witnessed this journey that you've gone through. And this may be related to past lives. You know, there may be some, there's like such a strong ancestral, like shamanic energy that comes just through like the eyes of the, like, I feel like it's a spirit depicted on this card, this forest animal, deeply connected and grounded to the earth type of spirit that's saying, you know, through many moons we've witnessed this, the travails that you've had to wind your way through, you know, up and over various mountains, you know, perhaps with these moons almost looking like gold coins, and so many pentacles in your cards here. You know, I'm getting that perhaps there's been, you know, so much hard work and so much effort put in, and yet, you know, perhaps there have been these struggles to attain that abundance. And whether that's in, you know, physical, like coin, wealth, you know, speaking of like financial wealth, or, you know, pentacles can often also symbolize health, right? So there might be a strong message of health issues, past health struggles here, as well, that, you know, they've witnessed, that you've gone through, and maybe people close to you, maybe your ancestors have also gone through, right? You know, we've got this connection card here, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that's felt throughout maybe your family tree, or, that you're closely connected with people who have, suffered in this way or just really struggled, really put in so much work and, followed their guides and, done what they feel is their purpose. And it's been some really hard, honest, heavy work, and they've made incredible good differences in the world, but maybe they haven't been, compensated in the way that we as a society, as a world, a global society, we tend to compensate people disproportionate to the value of their work, right? A lot of the people that do really crucial, essential work, like harvesting food, right? They don't get compensated in the way that is life-sustaining and, helps to essentially give them the security that if they were to have health struggles or anything like that, that they'd be insured to be okay and to be taken care of, and that their, children and children's children would be taken care of as well, right? So I'm getting the feeling here with this King of Swords, that maybe this is something that's really troubled you, and maybe if I feel like there's been really a lot of deep thinking here. I'm getting like day and night, like maybe you've, woken up thinking about this or had trouble sleeping thinking about how unjust and kind of like trying to figure out, how I'm getting a message that you want to essentially break the system and make it work better, right? With this death rebirth card, like one of your greatest ambitions would be to I'm just getting like that you would use this sword of justice and cut through, excuse my language, but all the bullshit, right? Like people who, hoard wealth and keep it out of the hands, in our broken society, right? Where people who work, honest, hard day's work, the system just doesn't support the welfare of everybody, right? It doesn't support people earning a living wage by working a full-time job. There's a lot of people who work really hard and, do all the right things, right? Go to school or, stay with a company or, do hard labor and put in a lot of time, and the system lets them down, right? Like doesn't make sure that they're secure. So I'm getting kind of this feeling of like you can see into and past the BS that's going on here, and that you are gifted. Like, let's get back to this incredible gift that I feel like you're coming in with, or coming into here, is that, you as this witness to everything going on, also, there's been a lot of witnessing of the fact that you have essentially evolved to this level. And I'm very much getting this message that you are deserving of not only this insight and this knowledge that you've worked so hard and spent a lot of time reflecting to attain, but your intentions are good, right? Like even just with this connection card, I got just this beautiful sense of like you have connections with people that you don't even know personally, but you care for them, right? It's not like a little inner circle of people that, get your regard and your respect and even your love. It's like everybody. Like I feel this almost this feeling of like an altruism, like the Buddha, or like, one of those beautiful people who just have that ability to love unconditionally, right? And yeah, I very much am getting the nod that your higher self, your spirit guides know this and see this in you and within you, and that this purple color here, I mean this amethyst point, just had a little hiccup, so that kind of like reaffirms that message as well. But this amethyst point with this purple color and the meaning of amethyst, it's very much a third eye. Yeah, definitely getting a strong third eye, like clarity sort of feeling, where you just have this piercing ability to perceive what is true and what is wrong and what could be done to balance and fix it. And I almost feel like this pentacle is like parting this purple curtain, where like it's like anything that might have been blocking the way of your sight, it's being parted, and this path is being shown to this beautiful, like crystal clear, no pollution in the sky, no pollution in the water, no loss of biodiversity on Earth, like everybody living in harmony, this sort of like utopia type of feeling, right? And yeah, that's like you see, or you will see, the way to that. And that's the gift that you're being given and essentially asked. Like you're being handed this seed and being asked to nurture it to life, right? And to lead the way in this world where, hard work deserves to be rewarded in this way, right? And I feel like it will, not only will you be able to bring some justice and rebalancing of abundance in this world, but I feel like your security, your health, and your wealth will also be assured. And that through this kind of like death and rebirth here, I feel like you'll be stepping into this new life where you know the gift that you can bring, and you almost feel you feel very directed to do it with the blessing of others that are going to really believe in you and your mission. There's going to be a lot of support with this double Three of Pentacles here. I feel like you're going to have people, if you share this vision, and when you share this vision, you're going to have people stepping up, lining up in droves that have incredible skill and are able to really work as a team and share that same vision, and work to enact incredible change that brings a lot of goodness to the whole world, really. Okay, so wow, Pal 2, like really beautiful message, and I don't know, I feel lucky to like witness this, and I'm really excited for you to take this and run with it, and to see where it leads. And yeah, thank you for blessing us with your energy, blessing me with your energy here today, and can't wait to do a reading for you again in the future. Hope you come back and visit. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you again. All right, beautiful Pile 2. Take care. Hello, beautiful Pile number 3. You chose this very cool adventure Samphire card and the amazing Carnelian. We're going to call it a dragon's tooth because that is very much how the energy is coming through for me today. I am just like buzzing. The first two readings have been absolutely incredible, and I'm so excited to see what your reading holds, because I think that this combination is so exciting, and it just, I don't know, it has the feeling of like, if any of you have read Huckleberry Finn and kind of his like, just striking off alone, right? And like that rambling, but also like so inspired and excited by everything he comes across type of energy is very much what's like coming through from your pile right now. So let's go ahead and see what your cards hold. So we've got our first card is your Oracle card. Oh, look at how those colors just go beautifully. The Coyote, number 12. Yeah, so very much that almost like a trickstery energy, but like in a really beautiful way. Coyotes are extremely revered in a lot of like indigenous cultures, Native American cultures. The coyote is often one of their essentially like guiding characters in a lot of origin stories of different tribes, Native American tribes, where coyote often is the even the like protector of their essence, where if there's like a monster that came in and threatened the entire tribe and like swallowed up all of the different animals and even the people, coyote goes in and is able to essentially win the situation and defeat the monster through a combination of cunning and trickery and intelligence, and also self-sacrifice. Very much that, kind of people look at the coyote and say, oh, he's just a trickstery energy, and yet, he ends up being the one that has the courage and the love, essentially, of everyone else. He just, he plays all day, yes, but he also absolutely loves with a fierceness that is beyond what any of the other animals in the story could fathom. And so he saves everyone because he cares so much he can't not. Like of course he's going to, right? So that's kind of the a little bit of a winding road we went there, but wow, yeah, it's very much coming through. Okay, yeah, so we've got the 5 of Cups here, and I'm just really getting pulled into this orange color in all of your cards. Excited to see what else we've got here. King of Pentacles, beautiful. Crown, 9 of Swords, interesting. Knight of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. Wow, the Queen and King of Pentacles. Okay. And the Moon card. Oh, it's so interesting. Okay. So I'm getting a message here that this may have to do with a situation in your life where there is a relationship going on that it's interesting. I'm getting like almost a surface deceptive energy, where on the surface of this person, relationship, or it might be a situation. It could pertain to a career, maybe even an education pathway for some of you, or if some of you are retiring, I'm getting also that it might be like almost your pathway once you've retired. But regardless of what it is, and we definitely have some symbolism here of a potential coupling, with this King and Queen of Pentacles. It could definitely pertain to an existing or future or pending type of relationship. But yeah, with both of these 5s, and then this 9 of Swords over this Moon card, and the energy of the coyote kind of presiding over everything here, I'm getting that there may almost be, it feels almost like a bit of a test. And yet your guides are heavily encouraging you to approach it like it's an adventure, okay? So bear with me here. This message is coming through, and I'm trying to put it into words. But, you know, you chose this adventure card with the combination of this Carnelian, essentially dragon's tooth is what I've decided to call it. And the Carnelian has a very strong energy of giving you that like gumption almost to overcome challenges, right? So if you have something in front of you that looks difficult, that looks threatening, that looks like it's too much, that the waters are too choppy, there's too much ambiguity, there's too much risk, there's too much sadness that comes up when you try to face this, whatever it might be. Essentially that, yeah, this is almost being the like bright other side of this that you very much are coming through too with the Six of Swords and this Knight of Pentacles. It's slow going, but it's guaranteed. And there's even a leveling up energy here. Knight of Pentacles, next step is the Queen of Pentacles, next step is the King of Pentacles. There's like a leveling up in some area of your life here, but it's pentacles, it's grounded, it's sure, it's secure. It will happen. You are on your right way. But there's something about this situation that is being obscured, and there's a bit of a trickstery energy, but not in any sort of malicious or ill-intended way. You know, the coyote, there was that strong sense of love that was coming through even from the very get-go when I pulled this card and revealed it to you guys. You know, I'm getting like looking into the coyote's eyes, there's almost that, in a way, almost like dog-like sense of just, you know, when a dog stares at their owner, right? Or at their family member, or at another member of their dog pack, when they stare without blinking, that's actually a sign of like deep devotion, trust, adoration, like I would do anything for you type of feeling. And so getting the message of, you know, don't lose faith, don't lose hope here. The number 12 is the Hanged Man number in a traditional tarot pack. And so even though this is an oracle deck, I'm getting that like this is to help you change your perspective a little bit, this reading. So some situation in your life is giving you trickstery, difficult, you know, stay up at night worrying, feeling like you can't quite understand, can't quite get clarification on what's going on. But it's a situation that is being given to you with love for some reason. And I might pull some clarifying cards here to get a little bit more insight into why you're being presented with this trickstery energy. So bear with me, I'm going to grab another clarifying deck real quick. Okay, so I have my Shadowscapes Tarot deck here, and see if I can shuffle on screen, but without messing up any of our spread here. I just love the energy of this deck. It always brings me this calm, like just beautiful, like everything's gonna be okay sort of energy, and I feel like we need a little bit of that here. Yeah, so we see the struggle here. So I feel like that's telling us that this deck is understanding what we're asking about. There's a lot of struggle, maybe even some defensiveness, almost a sense of like having to protect what's yours. Maybe like protect a project, something dear to you. something that feels almost like a child, or yeah, I mean, maybe if you're, I'm getting like if you're retiring or if you're leaving a position, you know, if this pertains to more of like your career sector, or like a passion project, or maybe a area in which you were like volunteering or mentoring somebody, that this moving on, or, you know, going into a different, like you're leveling up, right? You're moving into a different, slightly different area of your life. Maybe you're being promoted, or, you know, you're actually having a physical move, or, you know, maybe even if you are mentoring, the person that you're mentoring is moving on, something like that. Maybe this has to do with an actual child of yours. But that it's hard, right? It's hard to move on. It's hard to let that grow, and to release it and trust that, yeah, I'm getting almost a sense of like you just really want to protect this, whatever this is. And maybe there's a need to, yeah, because we got that strong message at the beginning of the reading of, you know, looking at this as an adventure, right? Like whether this is you going on a new adventure, or whether this is another person, or like a baby project, like something that you really babied and you're now like passing into somebody else's hands, or, you know, you're taking a different role. Looking at it as like giving this sense of adventure, you know, both to yourself and to others, and to whatever it is that you created and birthed into the world and put into the world, you know, maybe co-created, right? And so, yeah, it's like, it's meant to be hard, okay? It sounds, it's never the message that anyone wants to hear, but like these types of things aren't easy, right? Like if you raise a child and then they go off to college, or they start driving, or they take, you know, they go on their first date, right? Like it's not just easy, like it's hard, you know. There's a sense of like of like it's so complex, right? Like you're so happy for them, and you're so excited for them to go on this adventure, and yet at the same time you can't like avoid having that bit of bereft, like I remember when you were in diapers, right? Like I remember when you needed me for everything in the world, and that will never happen again. But it's a beautiful thing, right? Like you brought this new life into the world, and now it's succeeding, right? It's able to be independent in a way. So, oh, I'm getting like emotional just, yeah, I can definitely feel this energy, getting like a tingling on the top of my head too. So let's see what else. Oh, wow. Okay. So you've got the Death card. So very, very strong message here of like, yeah, it's a big transition. It's a big transformation, whether for you or another person that you care deeply about, or both, right? Like this is a big time in, you know, your lives. And if this is a relationship that is transforming, you know, maybe it's gone through some stages of immense struggle, and there's had to be things that have had to be let go of, right? Like as we age, like people change, right? And relationships change, and, you know, there's so many different things that we go through different phases, and we go through loss, and we gain new things, right? And so, but it's not always easy in it. Sometimes we do grieve, and sometimes we do mourn those things that used to be, but yet like there's this incredible energy here of like new adventure ahead. Like there's, you know, things may change, but that doesn't mean that things that like the beautiful things in life stop coming, right? There's difference. There's differences in what is in front of you on your adventure together, right? So, yeah, okay, let's see this last card here. Yeah, Two of Pentacles. So definitely a strong message of like being able to balance, you know, you're really getting such strong encouragement from your guides of balancing those two sides, you know, loss and gain, you know, pain, right? And joy. Like you can hold both in your hands at the same times, and that's okay. That's part of the beautiful capacity that humans have, is to, you know, like cry tears when we're happy, right? Like we're so happy that we're like crying, right? And like that's like the feeling that comes through, is like you being able to hold on to the whole complexity of this journey, whatever this pertains to, and still look at it as an adventure and get, you know, get that sense of like fulfillment and completion out of it by experiencing all sides of it, you know, allowing yourself to, and allowing others to as well. I think that we'll look at the very bottom card here, Moon. Okay, yeah, so very much a reiteration here of that, like, I'm getting, for some of you, there's a message that's needed from your guides and from your higher self that you don't know the future, okay? So take it as it comes, you know, take every day as a new day on your adventure and embrace it, live it fully, whether it's a sad day, a happy day, you know, a little bit of everything, right? Like tomorrow is a new day. Every morning that comes is a blessing, right? And so just embrace that, embrace the novelty, embrace the unknown. And if you feel like things are bleak, you know, your guides are reminding you here that you don't know what your future holds, right? Like there's this, yeah, so okay, I'm being drawn to these two moons in the background of these cards, and they look like this bowl that's holding light, right? That's just like filled with a little layer of moonlight. And you know, it's this message of like filling that bowl, right? Like I'm getting the feeling that maybe you feel like your bowl is newly empty or has recently emptied, or that you fear it will empty. Like you're mourning this full moon, right? And you're looking at your crescent moon and going, well, what do I have to look forward to tomorrow? Like I don't feel a sense of adventure. But your guides are reminding you that every moon goes back to full. It's a cycle, right? Like so if it might feel like it's just a little sliver of a crescent moon right now, but it will become full again. And maybe sooner than you think, you know, like a moon month, the journey from a new moon to a full moon is only about 14 days, right? 2 weeks. The journey from a crescent moon to a full moon is even less than that, right? So your guides are very much saying, like, don't lose hope, you know. I'm being drawn to this 12 again, so maybe there's a message for a few people watching this that things will get better in 12 days, okay? So, all right, my beautiful pile 3, I feel that is where we're going to leave this beautiful message for you today. So much hope, so much humanness, so much humility here. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much for watching this pile, this reading. If you feel called to, definitely give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, comment down below. I can't wait to read for you again. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Hello, beautiful pile 4. So you chose this gorgeous stabilize card with the St. John's wort and this citrine point. Love this combination together. St. John's wort is a plant that is often used for essentially a mood stabilizer, mood uplifting. It's almost like so it was used and is still used as a very natural like antidepressant actually. So really interesting. I'm kind of getting the message for some of you that this is the effect that either you have on people around you or even on animals around you, or vice versa, that there's people or a person in particular around you that has this sort of stabilizing effect on you. So let's see. So you guys got 2 oracle cards. You're the only pile that did. So let's see what we've got here. Completion and the lower worlds. Wow. Really interesting. So I'm getting that 4 might be important to some of you because not only does 3 plus 1 equal 4, but 9 plus 31 equals 40, which adds up to 4. So yeah, 4 is the number of the emperor as well, which it's really interesting. I'm almost getting a message of like, yeah, because 4 is like a very balancing number, very balancing sort of energy. Okay, before I say any more, let's see what else we've got here in your cards. Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay, so 20, desire. So this is also the judgment card in a traditional tarot deck, but here it is the card desire. Yeah, and we've got like a lotus flower. We have this fire dragon. We have a ram. We have a falcon that's almost like this starry night sky. So fascinating. I'm being really pulled into the imagery in your cards here so far. Knight of Swords. He's got a little heart on his tail. Really interesting bear. Getting there might be some competition going on around you, maybe for your heart. The Chariots, 3 of Swords, 4 of Cups, and Temperance. Really interesting. Okay, let's see. You guys have such an interesting energy here. I'm getting so many messages about like seduction and yeah, it's like I feel like there might be some competition going on here for your heart. So we'll see what we get as we kind of look more into this message. So if it's not resonating yet, feel free to stick it out, see if it does. But with this stabilized message coming with the Chariot, 3 of Swords, I feel like there might be somebody coming in who, yeah, if there's been a lot of instability going on in, I'm getting such a strong message that this is pertaining to your love life. So if that's not what you're wanting to hear about today, this may not be your message. Feel free to check the other piles. There definitely could be a message there for you. But, we've got another 4 here. And with this desire and this 5 of Swords and 3 of Swords and 4 of Cups and this lower world card too, I almost feel like you've been, at times, there's been times when your love life, like following that, either like people pursuing you or following that attraction to certain people has essentially created this, heartache, and it's felt like low vibe situations have happened, like people have turned out to not be what they promised or said that they were or communicated that they were. And that you've had this feeling of just, wanting somebody to come in and, really be who they say they are, right? Like be stable, but also be passionate, be able to essentially like drive their own chariot, right? Like they say that they, are this and that, and like they present themselves as being like the complete package that you really, really strongly desire and that you absolutely deserve. Like your guides are unequivocally like saying that here, that like you, with this Temperance card, I'm getting such a strong message that you embody this energy of being able to be balanced, to balance others, that like, so I'm getting the sorry, I'm laughing, but like your guides are just being like basically like, you're gorge, like you are absolutely phenomenal, like you have this kind of like when you're person that is meant for you, whether you're already with them or whether you're going to be with them, in the future. When they see you, they have this like, ah, like this is my person type of moment, where they feel like they've won, like that they have finally met that person that, you guys balance each other out so well, right? Like wherever you have kind of like valleys, they have mountains. Where you have mountains, they have valleys. Like you're able to, walk through the cold waters of life together, right? And it feels like crisp and refreshing when you're with each other rather than like icy cold mountain glacier water, right? So yeah, and that it's being together is it's going to be life bringing, right? Like water is life, right? And so this image of this like temperance goddess bringing this water from this, mountain, like glacier fed stream, it's very much a life bringing situation, that you will find yourself in. And yeah, I mean, there's so many nods here to the difficulties that you've been through. I mean, I can see, this Three of Swords card is just, I mean, it's absolutely heart-rending. Like this sensation of being, having like your heart like strung up like this. And I'm almost getting this feeling that you've thought that, maybe each of these threads, right, that is tied to a past situation, you thought that those situations were going to turn out to take care of your heart, right, to sew up any damage. Yeah, I'm getting, there may be a lot of past pain, whether that's pertaining to childhood, past relationships, maybe even like intergenerational trauma is coming through here as well. And that, there's these deep, deep wounds, these deep scars. Yeah, and so a message that is coming through here, because, tarot tarot is like a quick snapshot into a situation, right? But sometimes there's guidance that comes through, and whether it's guidance that, however it resonates, right? Whether from your higher self, your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors, there's so much care here, and there's so much like gentle guidance. It's almost like this cup coming out of these clouds here is like giving you some like healing waters, is the feeling that's coming through, and wanting you to take a look at where there may still be ties to past unhealthy situations or people and do like a cord cutting ceremony or ritual. You know, there's a lot of information available online about, like emotional cords, heart cords, and how to do like a cord cutting ritual where you cut any, like almost like just this unhealthy pulling of your, what's rightfully your reserves of stamina and energy and healing ability, that should be kept for you, that, you may be allowing to go to somebody else, out of the best of intentions, but that, maybe hurting you, without your full awareness. And so I'm getting some guidance here from your spirit guides and angels and ancestors, very much stepping in to say, you deserve so much more. And any of these cords that you have tied to a painful situation, you have the freedom, you have the ability to close that chapter of your life yourself, right? You don't need permission. You don't need anything from anyone else. You get to make that decision and get that closure on your own, okay? So yeah, that's definitely a strong message coming through for you. And if it doesn't feel like it's for you, then only take what resonates. So, but there is definitely a strong message of healing here. And, the card that you chose, this stabilized card, is such a hopeful, shiny, sunny, beautiful energy. And I do feel that this is going to complete itself. This completion card here with a snake eating its own tail. Very strong symbolism here. And the fact that it's colored in like essentially all the colors of the 7 chakras, I'm feeling that you're getting not only this completion of maybe harmful past cycles that have been hurting you still, right? But you're being brought out of that lower world feeling, that lower energy feeling. You're completing that chapter of your life. Your heart is being healed. All of your chakras are being healed. That energy flow is being reawakened, reopened, and you're going to be pointed in your true north. Like you're going to be able to sense, a lot of times what we gain from painful past situations is we become incredible lie detectors, vibe check. We can like check somebody's vibe. And, we might have people, friends, family members that turn to us and go, how did you know that person was like untrustworthy, or that they were like gonna act in that way? Like you told me about that, 2 months ago. How did you know? And you're just like, I listened to my gut. Like I've unfortunately gone through enough situations, life experiences that I've encountered energies like this before, and now I can spot them a mile away. And that's an incredible gift. Like it really, truly, truly is, even though the gaining of that gift can feel like not a gift at all. But, it does feel like you're coming out on the other side of this. And with this Knight of Swords energy, I do feel that there is this person coming in that not only is going to be what you deeply, deeply desire, but they're also going to see you, right? And they're going to be able to speak to all those levels of knowledge that you've, hard fought and earned, right? So they're going to be able to empathize with you and understand the type of honest, trustworthy clarity, good communication, I feel like speediness as well. So if you've had energies in your life before that kind of like leave you in limbo or leave you, you know, like on red is the message that's coming through. They're not going to do that, right? They're going to be somebody who is really respectful of your time, you know, doesn't want to leave you wondering, wants to make sure that things are clear between you. And you deserve that kind of energy, okay? They're definitely going to be somebody who is, you know, they're a winner. They've fought their battles and they've come out on top as well. And they're going to see you as an equal in that regard. So, all right, beautiful pile 4. I think this is coming to the end of your message. I am being pulled to pull a couple of love oracle cards for you, which I didn't do for any of the other piles, but I think I will grab my love oracle deck and pull those. So just one moment. All right, so these cards are just absolutely, whoa, they're excited to come out. I just absolutely love them. Yeah, and actually that's, I feel like we needed something to kind of disrupt some of this gloomy, sort of like heavy energy that's coming through. I mean, it's so much acknowledging your, like the difficulties that you've gone through in your past, right? But these cards have this gorgeous, gentle, like loving, joyful, happy, lighthearted energy to them. I mean, yeah, sweep. Slow down. Number 33. So maybe some of you are 33 or the person that's coming into your life is 33. But this is like a message that you don't even have to do anything to bring this energy, this new person into your life. Like they're meant for you. Let's see here. Dedication. Your challenges will reap rewards. Oh, your guides just adore you. Like they want to like crown you with this incredible, they see you as this like gentle, powerful gift to the world. Like you've been able to take your challenges, you've stayed dedicated through them, and you've gained so much wisdom. Like she has this beautiful young face, this character here, but this like silvery, like beautiful silvery gray hair. And to me, that's symbolizing like all of the incredible wisdom that you've gained. And I'm very much getting that this is like, yeah, just whoever, I'm not even being given the words, but it's like when you look at this figure here that she's embracing, whoever this reminds you of, whether it's like an ancestor, a beloved pet, you know, an angel, a spirit guide, they absolutely adore you and they are there for you, and they, you know, want to give you that message that like your dedication, the things that you've gone through will be rewarded and like beyond even what you could have imagined. Like look at all these sparkling stars and all of this fruit. I mean, this like lit up enchanted forest. There's so many exciting, happy, beautiful moments and so much love in front of you and comfort, and like you'll be able to just like sleep and like snuggle into your, you know, beloved person and, you know, just know that everything is right. So beautiful. All right. Oh my gosh. Like, okay. Yeah. So this is number 6, like 33 adds up to 6, and 9. I don't know why that struck me so hard, but like for some reason that just felt so meaningful. So it's come and gone, but yeah, maybe that just those numbers I needed to point out for somebody to like resonate with. But okay, guys, so beautiful message. Yeah, don't lose faith. hang in there. You will be rewarded. And your guides and your ancestors and everyone else that was here for your reading just absolutely love you. All right, so I hope that that helped. I would love to hear any comments, and if you liked this video, feel free to give me a thumbs up. Always appreciated. Subscribe if you'd like to be notified of future videos, and I can't wait to see you in the next reading. Bye, beautiful Pile 4.